Now for something completely different. Abbey Hartley is stuck in the net. And we brought her on board the Incubator with us this summer to serve as an embedded reporter, if you will, for the daily activities that are going on here in the Incubator. She is our social media guru, and so she'll be speaking to you about the terrific things that she's done with the Autonomy Incubator blog, our Twitter account, and then also some observations that she's made as she's been embedded with us here this semester. So I'm going to pull the net all the way back because she's going to move up to the front.
Hello. Like Danette said, my name is Abbey Hartley. I'm a creative writing major at Dartmouth. I'll be a senior this year. And I was so thrilled to have the opportunity to come to the Autonomy Incubator this summer and be, is guru the right word? I don't know. The social media intern for this incredible lab. So as you might have noticed, there's not a whole lot of social media interns at NASA. Most of the interns here are actual engineers who do science and aeronautics and space stuff, as the name suggests. And therefore, my initial mission as kind of an experiment was kind of broad. My absolute concrete duties were write and entry in the blog once a day, supplement that with tweets on the Twitter account, direct people to the blog, and additionally videotape and photograph whatever the PIs needed, tests, whatever they wanted. So I kind of took this on and set some goals for myself, sort of shaping my mission going forward. My main objective with the blog and the Twitter account and everything was to take the amazing, objectively cool research we're doing here, like, oh my God, did you see that? And this, like, oh my God, and make it accessible and interesting for the average American, like me. The last time I took a science class was in, let me think, my freshman year of college. My skills are not in that area, but I figured if I could write things in such a way that I could understand, at least on a very high level, then the rest of America could too, probably. So that was my main goal, and I supplemented this with some secondary objectives, such as provide the PIs with compelling visual aids for their presentations, sort of towards that same goal of making what we do here accessible to as many people as possible. Because you can do all the research in the world, but if you can't explain it, then really it's going to be very hard to get people to pay attention to you, give you funding, and get your amazing research implemented. In addition, I wanted to create connections between the AI and other groups. This is primarily the Twitter account purpose. And lastly, I wanted to learn as much as possible myself while I was here to inform my writing primarily, but also because I think this stuff is cool. Right, so with the blog, again, the main reason I'm here, I did 45 posts over my 10-week tenure. That's approximately 20,000 words, or Kafka's The Metamorphosis. And again, my primary purpose with this was to promote and educate people on what we were doing at the Incubator and in machine learning and autonomy in general. And I featured every single intern at least once because I figured that their presence here is kind of ephemeral, so I wanted to capture it as well as I could. And I also supplemented that with some PI profiles for people who were doing work I thought was cool, which is all of them. I also covered some like newsworthy events, like when the deputy administrator of NASA came to visit us. Yeah. That was an event I had a lot of fun covering. This is an example of a PI profile I did on Dr. Locke Tran, PhD. And an example of how I explain things, this is an excerpt from the profile I did on him and his work. He's using a kind of visual geometry called MSCKF. I think those are the right letters in the right order. But it involves some Kalman filters and a bunch of other very, very complicated things. So I tried to explain that on a high level. I make some comparisons. I think in this one I compared it to like an IMU is what makes your phone tilt sideways and all that kind of stuff when like you flip the screen. And then I try to supplement as often as I can with visual aids, like especially YouTube videos. I've used a lot of TED Talks. I've used a lot, like this was a video from someone's graduate thesis, just to make it even more accessible to people. So the Twitter account. This again was to point people to the blog primarily. It was used useful also for sharing photos and videos immediately. Like this is what we're doing right now. This cool thing just happened, which is really fun. And it was also my primary tool for networking and publicity. And I did this through the use of some hashtags. I can't believe I made a slide for this, but this is the reason I love my job. So we came up with some of our own original hashtags like Dances with Drones for Gil's work, tree dodging for walks, obstacle avoidance stuff because he dodges trees literally, and also our own hashtag LarkAI refers specifically to us and what we do, and other people can use that to refer to us. And in addition, I also supplemented that with some popular hashtags like UAV and Autonomy to draw people who are interested in these topics to us, which has been this one thing. So here's kind of the anatomy of a tweet. I do have a method. And this, full disclosure, is not my tweet. It's one of the nets that she just did, but it was such a good example that I couldn't not use it. So we, again, you can see that we, oh, there is. So we mentioned relevant people. If people in the Autonomy Incubator have a Twitter handle, then we use it. And a lot of people have gained Twitter handles because they've been featured. Hi. We always mention NASA Langley. We always provide a link to whatever content we can, usually up to blog, sometimes it's something else though, if we've been documented other places. We include a picture as a visual aid, and again, we tag ourselves to sort of nicely compartmentalize all of our original material. And this has been so effective that we've got people asking for internships via Twitter replies. He was very put out that he couldn't just ask for one, but he was very interested. We also have some fun whenever things trend. I don't know if y'all remember the Pratt keeping thing that happened when Jurassic World came out, but this is Danette bravely keeping 3 UAVs at bay, as if she were Chris Pratt in the Jurassic World movies. That was so much fun. And look, I made a graph. So this is how our Twitter follower count has increased over my tenure here. With the day we broke 100 was extremely just thrilling for me, and it's gone up ever since. And similarly, here are some more stats. I didn't know that Twitter could track how many people saw your tweets, but it turns out they can. We reached almost 17,000 people in the month of June alone, and then in July we reached almost 11,000 people. That's so many people. Oh my gosh. It's just mind-boggling what you can do with social media with exposure and connections. I'm blown away. These are our blog stats, similarly. This is readership from over the past month, since July, and this is right now. You can see we have 2 big spikes. The first was about Bilal and Javier because their lab at UIUC shared an article I wrote about them. That was really exciting. And then the second one was about an intern who is no longer here, Lauren, and her Bezier spline work. And that big spike happened because it got shared a lot on Facebook, which I thought was very interesting. So it just sort of shows how everything is interconnected.
You buried the headline on the slides too bad. Who's following us?
Oh, wow, sorry. The AIAA is following us, and they love us. AIAA Region 1 is constantly retweeting us. It's so much fun. They love us. And we just got followed by this rather important, I suppose, Unmanned Aerial Systems private company. They have quite a lot of followers, so it's a big deal that they're following us and like what we do. So these are the things that I've taken away from my tenure here at the Autonomy Incubator. I will never run out of things to talk about at dinner parties, like ever again. My role as kind of an embedded reporter here has let me touch all the projects that people are doing here, which are so amazing. So I can talk on like really high levels about a lot of stuff that most English majors have never heard of. So that's really, really cool. I've gotten to do fun stuff that like I don't know anyone else in my field has gotten to do, and that's so exciting, which brings me to some sort of professional applications of my work here that I did not expect at all coming into this. First of all, this has been better than an MFA for my writing style. I'm a creative nonfiction writer. I write nonfiction. So cranking out a piece of quality every single day is, wow, really difficult. Who knew? I've gotten so much practice here and it's been so valuable, and I have loved what I've done so much that I've incorporated it into my path going forward. My options right now are either to go into a career or go to try to get my PhD in English so I can be a professor. And I'm applying for jobs doing similar stuff to this, like blogging about tech things, or as I've looked at PhD programs, I've discovered that some English PhDs will let you concentrate in sort of tech studies. They have different stuff, but like sort of how technology and literature intersect, which I would never have even considered before, but now I definitely want to pursue, so that's really exciting. I learned how to do some HTML, which is, super hard. And I also learned how to do some video editing, and I also use Excel kind of once. But mostly I've become very intimate with iMovie in good ways and bad ways. It's crashed on me multiple times. But on that note, I would like to show you guys a video I've put together. So one of my long-running projects throughout the summer, while I was doing everything else, was I have 8 GoPro cameras set up around the entire incubator, and they take a picture every 30 seconds. So I've taken those like over 100 gigs of pictures and made a time-lapse movie that sort of highlights how our summer has gone here. And I would like to, for your viewing pleasure, show you that now.